Show me the thing! Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and this is the first episode of Featured Fan Builds. This is a series that's going to be once a month that I'm going to show off builds that fans have sent to me. I did a shout out or a call out in one of my previous videos saying, send me your pictures, send me videos of it firing, you know, send me the history of it if it has one, tell me what the internals are, tell me what you built it for, tell me what you use it for, tell me any fun stories about how it wrecked somebody at a war or an HVZ or whatnot, and I will do some videos on those. And since the first one is coming up, I thought I would do some of the blasters that I've actually been sent. The rest of this series, I don't want people to send me the blaster because they have to pay to ship it here and then I have to pay to ship it back, and that's just unnecessarily expensive, when they can just send me pictures and video and I can deal with that. But I've been sent a lot of blasters, or given a lot of blasters, over the course of the last year and a half, and I thought I would show off some of the really cool ones that I have lying around here. I don't remember who actually gave me most of them, which makes me a schmuck, but you know who you are, and you know you've been featured, and shout yourself out in the comments, and I will be sure to tell you that you're awesome. In the ones coming forward, I will actually have, you know, the email with all the details, so I'll be able to actually shout people out properly. Some of these I do know who they came from, but most of them I haven't a clue anymore, and I apologize for that. So, we're gonna start with this one, which I do believe I know who this one came from. And he sent me a pair of pistols that he has designed a actual suppressor for. And when we first, you know, saw it, and it's, you know, this one's obviously a Snapfire, and this one is the Stormtrooper blaster, and he has added the same half-inch thread that I use on all my blasters to the end of it, so you can just thread the suppressor on like you would on an actual blaster. And when we first saw it, we figured, oh, it's just, you know, for show, it's just gimmicky. And then we actually fired it. And it turns out it really does change the sound of the blaster to have the suppressor on there. It does. I don't know if it really makes it truly any quieter, but it definitely gives it a sound like a suppressed blaster. At least like the ones a suppressed gun you hear in movies, that sound that isn't actually what suppressed guns sound like, but that's neither here nor there. Hollywood is magic. And it's really, really neat. And at first we thought it was just PVC with some tape around it, but it's actually that cast material, like you would make a cast for a broken leg out of, and then he actually has done baffling on the inside, and so it really does change the sound significantly. And so those are both really, really cool. Now, I don't know how useful it is, because it does still make noise and the person is still going to hear you, but it's just a really neat concept, and the fact that it actually was functional was really, really cool. Walcom and I did a video on this in his shop. I don't know if it's been uploaded yet. It may have been uploaded by the time I upload this, but he and I did the full reveal and test of it, so you can see that on his channel. And that is really, really cool. And I love the case that he made for it. Walcom did not want to give this up. He did not want to give it back, but I agreed that I would send it back, so he'll probably have to negotiate to get his own, or possibly make his own, or what have you. But this is a really cool set. And the performance isn't great because neither of these blasters are particularly stellar to begin with. I don't know if he did spring upgrades. I think he did, but he did definitely brass the barrels and take out the ARs, which, you know, usually makes it a lot louder, thus the need for the suppressor. So those are really cool, and like I said, I really like the case. I think it could have used a little bit more cosmetic work, you know, covering up the barrel, maybe sanding it a little bit smoother, and covering up this, because that looks like, you know, pipe. Unless you're going for the post-apocalyptic look, and then it's magnificent. This one, it all matches, so I really like how this one came together. So there you have that build. Fantastic work. We then have some long arms that I've been sent. This one was given to me in trade, and I did feature it in a fan mail, but I wanted to show it off again, show some of the close-ups and the features. It's a really, really nice integration of a rough cut into a Raven. I don't believe it has any internal upgrades. I think it just sounds like it does because I put IMRs in it. in order to try to overcome the barrel drag a little bit. This is a really long barrel for a flywheel, obviously. If you wanted to make something like this viable, you'd pretty much have to put in afterburners to overcome that amount of drag. But it would be worth it because of just how pretty this blaster really is. That long barrel really does look really, really cool, and the rough cut integrated in is also magnificent. I like that you can actually reach it with your middle finger, if you really needed to fire it, rather than having to use your other hand back here. That I'm really a fan of. Yeah, the epoxy work is gorgeous. He smoothed it all out and sanded it very, very nicely. No fingerprints, no large chunks. Very smooth integration there. Obviously, it doesn't come off. The barrel is permanently attached. The Spectre barrel is still removable, though. So that would allow you to alleviate some of the barrel drag. Well, maybe not. Looks like there's actually a long barrel that goes the full length of it. Don't mind me, I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, absolutely gorgeous. He also skeletonized the trigger, which I think looks really slick. And while he has removed the locks, I don't believe it has a motor upgrade. So that is something I may actually break this open and do some integrations. It does also have LEDs throughout the barrel, and the case. It's got UV, I believe, for lighting up glow-in-the-dark rounds. So it is, still has the Firefly feature that Ravens came with inherently, and the switch is integrated in right here in the thumbhole stock, and then it just uses the original batteries, which, given that I'm kind of impressed it didn't burn out, given that I've got 3 IMRs in there, and they worked, so he must have had pretty beefy LEDs, so well done there. So this one is absolutely gorgeous and awesome, and I keep bringing it to wars and then never having a good round to use it in, and I really want to, because he asked me to run it in at least one war, so I will get around to that, because this thing is gorgeous, and I really want to run it at some point. The next war I will almost certainly run it, whether... The last time I didn't because it was raining, there was a severe threat of rain, and so I didn't want to risk it getting shorted out. So hopefully the weather will stay dry for the next war, and I will be able to finally run this gorgeous piece of work. Next up, we have another integration. This one is obviously a Firefly and a Modulus. Also does not have any internal modifications other than the fact that I'm running it again on IMRs, because I like running blasters on IMRs. You can run stock blasters on IMRs. They will eventually burn out because they're not rated for it. And IMRs aren't, the best option, but they are definitely a safer option. I will be transitioning to LiFePO in the future, the lithium iron polymer batteries, because they are a much more stable chemistry. Slightly lower voltage, but a much more stable chemistry, and I believe they produce a better current. So keep that in mind. IMRs are also stable, but they have some other issues. So back to this blaster, though. It is an absolutely, as you can see, gorgeous paint job. The deep red and the brighter metallic orange with a snake skin kind of pattern in there, and then the copper back here, absolutely gorgeous on the paint job. The integration could definitely be cleaner, but this was an early integration of his, which is why he was willing to just send it to me to show off. The epoxy work could definitely use some cleaning up, some more smoothing, some more sanding. The integration between the Firefly and the Modulus is not perfectly straight, and there's some gaps that could have been filled in. But for an early attempt, the integration is not bad, but the paint job is just magnificent. And his paint jobs and his integrations have gotten worlds better since he sent me this. So I definitely, if he would like me to provide his contact information for possible commissions, I'm more than happy to do so. But I don't want to without his permission. So if you see this and you are willing, let me know. And when people contact me asking for commissions, I will send them your way if you're interested. So that is another absolutely gorgeous build. He also filled in the trigger a little bit with, it looks like, hot glue. I'm not entirely sure why, but it doesn't seem to detract anything. So yeah, I have yet to ever actually modify a modulus. I need to get around to doing that. So this is another one that I keep bringing to wars to use and then not getting around to it. So this one will be on the docket for the next war as well. I'm sure I will get absolutely brutally murdered by the Caliburn users. We've got like 10 of them now. But I will have an awesome time running this anyway. So look forward to that. And our final featured build is another Raven, and another one that, as far as I know, is unmodified other than the paint job. And this one was sent to me, I believe, from Holland, if I remember who sent it to me. I hope that is right. Like I said, this one actually came in a package with no return address and no note. There was just a bunch of blasters. There was a blue strife, this, and something else, and I was kind of like, what's all this about? And then they did reach out to me and say, oh yeah, that was me. And then I checked my emails and I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. But I've since forgotten because I'm a schmuck. But this one is another really pretty cosmetic build. I really like the camouflage he did with the gray, the tan, and the brown. It's very, very rustic looking, and I really, really like it. Again, a really long barrel for a stock Raven to try to deal with. And so, to compensate that, I would run it on IMRs and hope I could at least get vaguely stock performance out of it. But the way we run our wars, having a souped-up blaster doesn't do you nearly as much good as you'd think. So I will definitely run this one as well, as poor as the performance may be. The barrel on this one does come off, though. So if it got really bad, I could just take this really long barrel off, and that would compensate for that. I really like the way he did the barrel, though. So it's obviously just a recon barrel, but then he's added this and made his own suppressor-looking thing. And the drill holes are really not that bad. I really think it came out looking pretty cool. Maybe it should be... There we go. Yeah, it got rotated a little bit. So, yeah, I really like how that one came out. And I have to hide it from Luchathor whenever he comes over because he has a dirty, dirty obsession with Ravens, and I have these two gorgeously painted ones that he's, of course, always eyeing. The Fiend. And finally, our last one. I think I said that last one was the last one, but that's not the last one. Finally, we have this one, which was brought and given to me at Jared's Epic Nerf Battle, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's already led up a somewhat rough life, and the outer clear coat is getting scuffed up, but the paint job is still immaculate. And as you can see, it is a hydro-dipped flame pattern Sweet Destiny. And it is absolutely magnificent. And it then has the Silver Fox Industries trigger and hammer. And I actually know the guy. Ryan was actually in my shop on Monday working on his Caliburn. So, yeah. Really, really cool. I will have the link to the description, or link in the description to where you can buy those two parts. Because they're absolutely fantastic. This does not have any kind of a spring upgrade in it yet. They decided to leave that to me. And I'm really tempted to get a 7 or 8 round cylinder, the Gavin Fuzzy one possibly, and then putting some of that Hillman 62 in here and seeing if I can't make this into an absolute beast. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much for this. You will get what's coming to you, sir. I know who you are. You know who you are. Anyway, yeah, that was the final one. I have said it before, and I will say it again, I have the coolest fans. And that's why I wanted to start doing this, to show off the stuff that you guys have built, because so many of you have built so many awesome, awesome things, and I love getting the ideas and just seeing the creativity of this hobby. That is one of the main reasons I truly love Nerf, is the amount of creativity there is in the builds, because you can do anything. You can build cosmetic builds from your favorite video games, sci-fi, complete custom from the ground up builds, and then there's so many really cool kits and upgrade parts and all of that, and it just keeps the hobby interesting and fresh and new and keeps it from getting stagnant, and I love that. So if you would like to be featured, send me an email with your build, send lots of pictures, possibly send video of it in action if you want. If it's got a name, tell me the name, tell me its history, tell me anything and everything you want me to say about it, and I will start featuring those in the next one. So look forward to that, and thank you guys for watching.